Hey guys, thanks for signing up. The first lesson that I want to give you, the first thing that I want to teach you is one of the things that I like applying to the kit the most. The principal thing that I use is a area of drumming that's called linear drumming. It's a certain way of playing, and this little pattern that I'm about to show you, the little pattern that I played in the intro, is one of my favorite patterns ever to start with, especially if you start splitting it up around the kit and kind of messing with it and making it your own. So very simple pattern. I think that this is kind of a really cool little introduction into linear playing if you don't really know what that is. If you know what that is and you've never played this pattern before, then it's just one more cool little thing that you can add to your toolbox that you can use, but this is one of my favorite patterns. So it's very simple. The pattern in essence is, it starts with the left hand, so it's left hand, right hand, kick, and then it just loops. So where you're sitting right now, I assume you're not sitting in front of your drum set, but if you're sitting in front of a computer or you've got your phone or your mobile device or your iPad or whatever in front of you, then just put your hands on your legs, and then let's just do the pattern on our legs and just with our foot. So the pattern is left, right, kick, and then we just loop that as a triplet. So we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's the pattern, and we just loop that. Now, something that's really important is that I play this pattern and all the notes in this pattern as 16th notes. Now, if you don't know what that means, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. But if you do know what that means I'm going to count this as 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and because that's how you count 16th notes. So you'll see when I count this pattern as 16th notes, well, when I count these notes as 16th notes and I play them like I did in the intro of this video, then you'll see exactly how this fits into the groove that I play. So I'm just going to play it again on my legs and with my foot off of the pedal, but I'll count as 16th notes. So you can hear exactly how I fit that triplet pattern, left, right, kick, into this groove. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4. So I don't play my two hands together. Obviously, I just open the hats like you heard in the beginning, but that is how I fit this pattern into that groove, playing it as 16th notes. Now, like I said, don't be too intimidated by that if you don't know what 16th notes are. I'm just trying to show you guys exactly how I fit the triplet pattern into essentially a 4/4 groove, because I know a lot of guys kind of struggle with that. If a pattern is 3 notes long, it kind of feels a little funky, but that's why we play triplets, because it feels funky, and funky is good. So I'm just going to play the pattern again, but this time I'm going to move it onto the hats, between the hats and the kick. And what I'm also going to do now is I'm not just going to loop it endlessly. I'm actually going to play the pattern as I did in the beginning of the video. So I'll play it just like I counted it, and I'll open the hats on 4, because that's where the pattern kind of ends before it starts reiterating again. So between the hats and the kick, and the length of the pattern will be the same length as I did in the beginning. So that's exactly the same pattern. Well, the left, right kick just played between the hats and the kick. And you'll hear it immediately gets that kind of triplet vibe, even at a slower tempo. So then what I do is I just fit that into a groove. So I play a straight up 4/4 groove, and then I dedicate one of the segments just to that full. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just take one of those segments and I just do the full. It's kind of, it's a little bit lengthy, so it's not just a quick little full. If you play it fast, then maybe it turns into a quick little full because it doesn't take that much time. So specifically in this example, I dedicate one whole bar to this full. So I'm just going to fit that into a groove. I'll still play it really slow so you can hear exactly where it starts and where it stops. One really important thing though is that this little pattern ends on 4. So in between 4 and the next 1, you have that nice long gap where you can kind of recollect yourself and go, oh, where do I want to go? I'm going to go to the crash. Okay, and then you can go to the crash. There's a nice long gap, especially at the slow tempo. You'll hear that it ends when I open the hats, and I open the hats on 4. So it's really wise to count with me. I would really suggest that. I didn't count for a very long time when I started playing, and you really hold yourself back if you do that. So if you're having trouble with this, or you want to kind of get a better understanding of it, I will seriously suggest that you count with me. So it's going to play it slow again in the context of a groove, and specifically note on the fact that it ends on the 4. So I open the hats on the 4. Then there's a nice long gap, and then I go right back into it. So this is the pattern in a groove. So you'll hear it starts sounding really cool within the context of a groove, especially because it's based around a triplet and not something that's 4 or 8 or even 6 notes long. The fact that it's 3 notes, essentially a triplet vibe, gives it that really cool little feel in the context of a 4/4 groove. So what I'm going to do now is play exactly the same thing, but I'll start speeding it up. And you'll hear it start sounding really, really cool when you start speeding it up, but I'll also start splitting it up around the kit and kind of just using exactly the same pattern. I won't deviate from that at all, but I'm just going to move my hands around to different voices. Obviously, the kick will still even be on the kick, so the only 2 things that I will change is those first 2 notes of this pattern, the left, right. I'll just start kind of splitting my hands up and kind of crossing them over maybe if I want to, and just splitting it up around the kit. But this is the same pattern, sped up, and then just moved around the kit. So that was the pattern, a little bit faster and split up around the kit. You'll hear that it starts sounding really, really cool when you just start messing with the voices, especially those 2 first notes, with the left and the right with the hands. You can split it up in the coolest ways or in the strangest ways, crossovers, whatever you want to do. The pattern is so simple that is relatively easy just to split it up, but it sounds really cool. I think the reason why I like this pattern is because you can get a really cool sound with a relatively simple pattern. So that's why I love this. That's why I always use kind of the triplet-based patterns around the kit. So one of my favorite patterns. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you kind of can take this to the kit and do your own things with it and play it much better than I can. It's a really fun pattern to apply in the kit. And if you guys just stay tuned and keep an eye on your inbox, then I'll be sending you some more little rad lessons pretty soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.